I think a lot of us know someone who is in a pyramid scheme, right? Avon, Scentsy, Monet, Saint. What's the other ones? Amway, right? All things that are sold as get rich quick schemes, all this stuff. But listen, the people in these pyramid schemes, the people who work for these companies, go crazy they go crazy anyway, but they go crazy trying to recruit people because it's a pyramid scheme. Pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid scheme, right? If they recruit people, they're more likely to make money than they are actually selling the product. And a lot of people in these pyramid schemes actually make more money from recruiting people and earning their commission from them. And it goes down and down and down and down and down, like a pyramid. And then they're like, I'm a mentor, I can teach you how to make loads of money, and then that person joins and then they make commission from them buying products. It's all just shit, right? So we are going to watch, this was sent to me so many times, even by my partner sent this to me. And this is a person called Amber, who is a content creator, I believe. And she actually got caught up in what she thought was a date, but was actually some guy trying to recruit her into the pyramid scheme he is in. She recorded the date and her confronting him. I haven't watched it yet. I'm really, really excited to watch it. So if you're not familiar with a multi-level marketing company, here's some quick information, very quick and snappy.
So a few days ago, I posted this video of me absolutely destroying a pyramid scheme recruiter who tried and failed to recruit me.
What universe do you figure that you're successful enough to try to mentor people and try to get people to join what this is that you're doing?
And while I do thoroughly enjoy roasting people who deserve it, the real point of this video was to raise awareness about scams like these. If I can help even one person to recognize the red flags and avoid getting involved in a scam like this, then the video was worthwhile. Pyramid schemes prey upon vulnerable people looking for a flexible source of income. So typically the people that are the most susceptible to these type of scams are young people, college students, stay-at-home moms, or people who care for children or for the elderly. These scams promise financial freedom, the ability to travel whenever you want, becoming an entrepreneur, or riches beyond your wildest dreams. But let's look at some of the facts. So first of all, what even is a pyramid scheme? A pyramid scheme is a fraudulent business model where profits are made based on recruiting an ever-increasing number of investors. In the case of companies like Amway, the investors are called distributors or independent business owners. The initial owners recruit investors, who then recruit more investors, who then recruit more investors, and so on and so forth, with everyone at each level recruiting more people and siphoning money from those below them. These types of schemes are not sustainable as they rely on constant recruitment of new members and empty promises to keep getting more and more people to join. As the pyramid grows, it becomes harder and harder to find new people to recruit to join, until eventually you reach the point where you would have to recruit more people than there are in the entire world in order to add another level to the pyramid. The system eventually falls apart, leaving most people involved with nothing to show for it. Multi-level marketing is the same business model, except this time there's an actual physical product involved, such as a beauty or healthcare item. The money made from the products sold, or from the distributors paying sign-up fees or annual fees, keep the scheme funded. At the end of the day, all of the real money to be made in a pyramid or multi-level marketing scheme is at the top of the pyramid. And by the time you join, it is far too late to make any sort of sizable profit. In my video, the recruiter was trying to get me to join Amway Global, which is one of the oldest and most well-known pyramid schemes in the world. So here's how Amway works. You pay $100 to join, and you then become an independent business owner. You're then told that you can make even more money by recruiting people to join your downline. Now keep in mind that you are required to purchase a minimum amount of products per month, and if you don't, you'll be kicked out. Meanwhile, the people in your upline encourage you to buy expensive business support materials to help you develop a better business mindset. This process continues indefinitely until you run out of money. Now, many of the tactics used by Amway are pretty cult-like, such as isolating you from family and friends who might try to talk you into leaving, making false promises about riches and saving you from ever having to get a real job, or requiring you to attend mandatory business meetings in odd locations or at odd hours of the night. So can you actually make any money with Amway? The average Amway distributor makes between $200 and $300 per month, or about $3,400 per year. A pretty far cry from being rich beyond your wildest dreams. Even if you're lucky enough to be in the top 1% of earners, which you can't unless you're at the top of the pyramid, you'd be making about $80,000 per year. This is about the same or less than most typical office jobs in the US, except that between buying and selling products, constantly attending these mandatory meetings, and constantly trying to recruit people to join your downline, you are working far more than 40 hours per week. The bottom line is you will spend far more money in fees and on the products that you're required to buy each month than you will ever see in profit from the products that you sell or from your downline. On top of that, you will also isolate yourself from your friends and family who are tired of you trying to recruit them, or who you cut contact with because they tried to convince you to get out. It gets to a point where you have to view every single person that you meet as a potential person to recruit, which is an exhausting way to live. Pyramid schemes like these are not a realistic or sustainable way to supplement your income. When you join a pyramid scam like this, you are not a business owner, you are not an entrepreneur, you are a customer. And the only people who profit are the people at the top of the pyramid that you are handing your money to. So here's a few of the red flags that might indicate that someone is trying to recruit you to join a pyramid scheme. The person who approaches you claims to be a successful entrepreneur, but is very vague about what their business actually is. The person makes promises of riches, financial freedoms, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. The person promises that you will achieve these things very quickly, and might say something like, you will be retired or on a permanent vacation in a matter of only a few short years. The person might try to assign you books or other materials to read so you can prove that you are serious enough about this opportunity. The person may try to gaslight you into thinking that you might not be worthy enough to join. The person may speak of a mentor that they can introduce you to, but only if you can prove that you are ready. The person has a packed schedule full of business meetings, and they always seem to be coming from or going to another meeting. If you come across a person like this, firmly and unquestionably tell them no and run quickly in the other direction. Or even better, film your encounter with them and post it online so you can warn others. Please, please be careful out there. Protect yourself and know how to recognize and avoid scams like these. And remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
I love a confrontation like this. I love people being caught out and educated and told.
What universe do you figure that you're successful enough to try to mentor people and try to get people to join what this is that you're doing?
So this week, I got targeted by a pyramid scheme recruiter who tried to frame his attempt to recruit me as a bait.
Okay, so straight up there, right? The people that are in these MLMs, the lengths they go to recruit people is insane. Like what they do. Oh my god! I've fake tanned my neck and not my face. Anyway, they hold like fake group interviews. They'll try and get you at funerals. Like there is no bounds, no boundaries they won't cross, right? So this isn't unbelievable or unthinkable.
Our first date, we went to Starbucks, and he didn't order anything and didn't pay for me either, which was the first red flag.
Listen, so if you, whatever your mind is thinking in terms of who pays for dates, I think the person who invites the other person, that person pays, right? I don't know. If you're gonna go on a date, and especially like one where you eat or drink, I hate eating or drinking in front of people anyway. But like, I imagine just sitting there and drinking by yourself. Like, not alcohol drinking, just any drink. That would be awkward to me.
Second red flag is that he actually assigned me a book to read before our second date. The book he assigned me to read is a book called The Go-Giver. And
I bet you anything it's self-help, self-love, how to be a business.
Whole thing in like a day. And after reading the book, it was painfully obvious that this book was essentially a guidebook on how to join a pyramid scheme. So the book is actually what tipped me off to what he was doing. Well, tonight is our second date, and he doesn't know that I'm onto his scheme. I'm gonna film it. Let's see how it goes.
Being your authentic self stood out a lot too. I feel like.
Okay, so he started off by asking me what stood out about the book he assigned me to read. There's something, again, these pyramid scheme people, right? If you've ever watched people's like reaction videos to pyramid schemes, Cici Suarez, Hannah Alonso, they're always like these leaders. I thought someone was standing behind me. There wasn't. That I saw. They suddenly think they're these incredible leaders, these inspirational people. And it's like, just because you read a self-help book, it doesn't mean you are now the teacher. You are still very much the student. You know what I mean? But they're always like, okay, I'm going to sign this book to you. It's going to change your life. And then I'm going to mentor you. Why? Because you're in a pyramid scheme? What the fuck is that going to do? Okay.
Probably some of the reason that my social media has taken off as much as it has is because it's a place for me to be my authentic self.
Are you open to other sources of income? Are you open to other things?
I mean, I have 4 sources of income at the moment. It's been fun to kind of watch this develop to a point where I can now pay other people. Be a giver, right? Be a go-giver.
Go-giver, yeah. And so when it comes to like getting around other people and like adding another source of income, is that something that you're
Not necessarily. No, I'm not really looking to add more work to my plate.
Imagine being on a second date. And I don't know. I don't think talking about work on dates is bad. Unless your job is really, really fucking boring. But asking someone what they do for work isn't awful. I think you can tell a lot about someone by what they do for work. Someone's like, I'm a teacher, I'm a lawyer, I'm a an accountant. You're like, oh, okay, so you have great patience, you're very good with things. You can tell what kind of person they are, or they can be more of a creative person. But to ask somebody if they're open to different sources of income on a second date is really fucking weird. Even to suggest, even if you weren't like in a pyramid scheme and you were like, okay, so I'm on a date with this cup, right? So this is my date, this cup. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, so this is fine, right? My date is the cup. You know what'd be great because you do social media. Like, have you thought about doing merch and stuff like that? That would be so cool. Fine, not fine. Are you open to different sources of income? Have you ever thought about joining Avon? Not fine, you know?
Like, my goal is just to meet people and get to know, people for who they are. But it sounds like your goal is to view people as a business transaction. No, that's not something that we were aware of when you guys.
I met him at a barbecue that he and his friend convinced my friend to host. So she met him at a barbecue that him, the guy, and his friend convinced her other friend to host. So it's like a party, right? It's like an Avon party. But this is a few things. Sorry, I keep interfering, but this is a reaction channel. Come on. Two things. First, if this is your way of recruiting people into your pyramid scheme, into your multi-level marketing company, how many dates are you going on? How many first and second dates are you going on that aren't actually dates? They are just pyramid scheme recruitment opportunities. Like, that's a lot of time wasted. And also, second thing is that people will convince their friends to try and host events so they can like mass gather people into their scheme.
To the barbecue. Like, it sounds like you probably came to the barbecue with the intent of scouting out people for whatever this is that you're doing.
Right.
Am I kind of on the right track? Are you in a pyramid scheme?
I'm not afraid.
Okay.
Okay, and here's another thing, right? People in multi-level marketing companies, pyramid schemes, commercial cults will flat out deny that it's a pyramid scheme. They'll be like, pyramid schemes are illegal. However, we can look at certain legal things and stuff like that and figure out these are most definitely pyramid schemes because, it works like a pyramid. The recruiter benefits off everyone. This person only makes money if these people make money. And people are like, that's just any business. It's not the same. In any other business, everyone's getting paid all the time. No one loses money if you've been recruited by a company. You know what I mean? I've never worked in retail and had my payment affected by everyone else around me, unless it was a bonus.
When I met you, I saw that you were like driven in a good stock. So I was like, okay, like this is somebody who like might benefit from learning about some of the stuff I've learned. When you say in on this scheme, it's kind of insulting. It's true.
Yeah, I felt insulted too. After you assigned me a book to read and I found out that the book you assigned me was an intro to a pyramid scheme, the fact that you would just make the assumption that you have some.
He assumed that I could benefit from having him as a mentor, but my income is actually significantly higher than his.
Offer me in terms of influence or finance when I'm leaps and bounds ahead of you was wildly offensive. And I don't know if you made that assumption because I'm a girl.
I watch for people who have succeeded in some way that's impressive to me.
But who is he to judge what's impressive? So that's like me joining Avon. We'll use Avon. And I'm like, now I'm in Avon. I suddenly have the ability to see who's, really got the drive and the ability to recruit people into my pyramid scheme. And now I'm this great leader and I'm going to do a TED talk because I'm Avon. I'm not Avon, I'm in Avon. Like, who is he?
What was your goal in giving me that book to read? What was the end goal there?
To see what you thought about it. not to be offensive, but you're being a little bit combative about this. You don't know and you don't understand. I don't have a pyramid scheme.
You don't what you don't know what you don't understand. I don't have a pyramid scheme. No, you're in a pyramid scheme. You're not a business owner. But she's very right in everything she's saying. Good for her. Fuck everyone.
That you're saying you're gonna put me in contact with. What is that? What's the end goal there?
Yeah, so I'm happy to share all that I do, but not a bit from an authentic standpoint. I mean,
No, I'm genuinely curious. Like, if I'm wrong that this isn't a pyramid scheme, I would love to be proven wrong.
I think that what's happened here is you've misinterpreted what this. I feel like
Sorry. I think what's happened is you've misinterpreted this. No, I think she's very much got it. He goes on to say, I feel like you feel offended about something you shouldn't.
I feel offended about such because, like, what I do is honestly it's really cool. It's an inspiring thing. It's something that I feel like honestly I don't understand why everybody's doing it.
What is it that you do?
Yeah, so I have an e-commerce business.
So she says has yet to explain what he does. And this is another thing, again, you'll see in multi-level marketing companies. Say, for example, again, somebody works for a brand like Avon or something like what's it called? Monat? I don't care, Monat, which is that hair one that makes your hair fall out. They will be like, or Saint, the makeup company, they're like, comment hair and I'll reach out to you. But they never mention who they work for because you know what comes along with a name? People thinking you're in a pyramid scheme. Why? Because you is. So he says he has an e-commerce business. E-commerce? Why does that sound wrong? And he has customers.
I sell products, and then I help other people do the same thing. What I do is I teach people how to be successful people.
Why?
The idea is you develop a person. When you develop people, it doesn't matter what the vision is. It doesn't matter what you do. When you teach people how to be successful, then they're going to succeed at whatever.
People pay you for these services?
No.
So you teach people how to be successful. What's in it for you?
Usually this takes people a little bit of time to get, but you're kind of and before I draw out everything I do, have we gotten over the whole you're a distrustful person thing? Because I really don't want to continue.
I'm a distrustful person.
I'm the most.
So he just asked her if she's got over the distrustful bit. He called her, are you, now before I tell you that I'm in a pyramid scheme, are you over being distrustful? Are you going to, she's on it. She knows, she's caught you out. She's not distrustful. She knows exactly what you're doing. There's a huge difference.
Genuine, kind, caring, loving person you live for you. You can believe whatever you want. That's the reality. So a lot of what I do is just being ready to take tomatoes and have people say that what I'm doing is it kind of sucks.
Why do you do it then? If it sucks.
Because it's awesome. It's forward looking at the world. I'm dating, I'm going on 3 dates a week with a bunch of gals. So that's what I want to do for others.
Okay, so that answers my question earlier. So it's going on 3 dates a week with other gals because it's a cowboy times to recruit people and do all this. And also, he doesn't sound very confident in himself. It's like, I recruit people and I make sure that they are the best that they can be. But you sound bored to death of your own job description. Are you over being distrustful? You sound like you're falling asleep listening to your own voice. If someone's like, I'm going to recruit, I want you to be part of my business and it's a great opportunity, you can be like, oh, wow, yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? You want someone to be like, listen, I have this business. It's a great opportunity. I know you'll be able to succeed in it. Or you don't want to do this because that's a pyramid scheme. You want to sound a little bit more interesting, at least, up and down in your talking.
Eventually, my efforts, they will get paid for their store and their customers. They will also get paid for my store and my customers.
Pyramid scheme.
I really don't care that much because some people think I'm an idiot.
I don't think you're an idiot.
But
I do.
I care about that. So I hope you end up realizing that I am the person you thought I was. This is you.
I'm sorry, he pulls out a whiteboard and starts drawing a diagram with stick figures. This isn't normal. What about you in your mind is so desperate to recruit people? You fake going on dates with people, and you just happen to have a whiteboard in your bag that you are drawing on. My throat went all curly. And whipping it out. This is cult-like behavior. This is not normal at all. Imagine working for any other job and you're that desperate to recruit people. You bring them in false pretenses, right? Is that the word? I think it is. You know what I mean. You assign them a book and you have a whiteboard. On no level is this normal for anyone to do. Insane.
Are not like most people. Most people have a job. Sorry, literally a child could do this. That's
Oh, sorry, 1 second. She has a job. She has a job.
how simple it is. What I do is I teach people how to take some of the money that they spend over at Walmart and instead spend it at their own store. I contract with incredible companies that provide stuff. And it's really high end. What you do is you add on customers to your store. When you add customers, then you have more volume moving through your store. So the companies I work with, one of them is called Amway Global.
Amway is the biggest, it says Amway is one of the most well-known pyramid schemes in the world. It is the hugest pyramid scheme ever. I think it used to be called American Way or something like that. It's a huge multi-level marketing company pyramid scheme.
And that's something where you're probably like, oh, she is doing that thing. They said he's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, no, Amway is definitely a pyramid scheme.
It is most certainly not.
No, it isn't.
Forgive me. But you don't know what you're talking about.
The amount of like belittling that is coming out of your mouth, there's nothing you can offer me in terms of influence and finance that I don't already have leaps and bounds ahead of you.
Right, right.
Honestly, I'm not going to let you. Because I don't want to work with people who feel offended by it.
So she's just like, listen, I would never work with you. And it's like, well, I don't want to work with you. That's like, oh, I'm breaking up with you. No, I'm breaking up with you. This man isn't normal, sir. Get yourself out of this thing you are in, because it's messing up your brain.
Darn. I guess I'm missing out on so many profits I could have gotten from Amway Global and the pyramid scheme. Man, I'm so disappointed.
That's not what I mean.
I think there's been a lot of assumptions on your part that I'm somebody who would want to join in on whatever this is that you're doing without taking into account that I could actually probably offer you a lot of the things that you're looking for in terms of advice and mentorship and how to get where I am.
Because what I'm saying is if you know somebody who's going to help me and coach me, then I'm looking for the best thing. I know
it couldn't possibly be me though, right? It's like you speak of this great business model and you're trying to recruit people to mentor and you live in an apartment with roommates. In what universe do you figure that you're successful?
And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to be like, I'm the most successful, but I can teach you how to be successful, and you're trying to act up like, your life is better than everyone else's, which living in an apartment with roommates is fine. The Golden Girls did it. But if you're acting like you're so successful, you have all these riches, then don't try and, tell somebody who has their own home that they paid for that, you know what I mean? Not one is better than the other, but with these recruitment people try to use physical things that what's it called? Materialistic items. Not that a home is materialistic, you know what I mean? To kind of prove their success.
You live in an apartment with roommates. In what universe do you figure that you're successful enough to try to mentor people and try to get people to join what this is that you're doing?
I hope that you figure out someday that I'm not.
You guys, that was insane. The amount of gaslighting that happened in that conversation is mind-boggling. Like, this guy, as soon as I called him out on his shit, tried every trick in the book to make me feel like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you have the wrong idea. If you're going to be a distrustful person, we can't speak anymore. The audacity to, the minute I called him out on his bullshit, to try to turn that on me and act like crazy. I was in the wrong is, wow. Not only is this guy a pyramid scammer, but he's a gaslighter.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just in shock, but that was so worth it. I highly recommend you guys Call people out on their shit. If you get targeted by one of these pyramid scheme recruiters, agree to go out with them and call them out on their shit. I don't think I've ever felt so brave and so accomplished in my entire life. So as soon as we walked out of the restaurant, he comes walking up behind me and he's like, oh, make sure to take a selfie. Make sure to get a selfie with me in the background. Oh, he's so pissed. I think he's actually still like in his car watching me right now film. Oh, that was so liberating. And I'm just glad that I have reached a point where I am no longer susceptible to the gaslighters. I mean, call it a long string of dating terrible guys and getting used to recognizing gaslighting for what it is. But oh man, whew, 10 out of 10, highly recommend.
Good for you, Amber. Good for you. That was insane. That man needs help. Listen, here's the deal. When people are in, just like most cults, right? Commercial cult, and MLM is a commercial cult. I'm out of focus, just realized. That's great. We do need to kind of bear in mind that the people who are bought into this are sometimes like, sorry, I keep touching things. Sometimes are in a place in their life where they just need help. Something's missing, or they're a little bit vulnerable. That's the word I'm looking for. So we can't blame them for being in a place of vulnerability and being recruited into something. You know what I mean? So once they're out of it and they see, you know, how terrible it was, and be like, you know what? That wasn't you. That wasn't who you are. The fact that that man will waste her time in general, and that he's also wasting 2 other people a week. He was on 3 dates a week. He's doing that to try and recruit people into his pyramid scheme. Disgusting. If anyone tries to get you to join any of these pyramid scheme situations, just say no. I have a whole video on pyramid schemes on my other channel, which I'll link down below for you, and I'll link some of my favourite creators there for you also. Well, thank you for joining me. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.